Hello everyone, how you guys doing? Hopefully you guys are having a wonderful day, and today we are here with a video where we just and complain, because that's what we do as the RuneScape community, right? That's what we're built to do. I myself have been doing a lot better job the last few years of not reading about everything, not losing my mind about every single update or anything that Jagex does, because I understand that there's always going to be a segment of the community that feels a little left out in every regard. However, today, I'm actually going to defend something I don't even want to really defend. So that's how you know it is a true re-worthy moment, and we have to, have a little bit of an outcry, show that we care, because that's what this is all about. We're playing a game that's 10, 20 years old for most of us. So obviously, we got to show the passion, we got to show we care, and, I hate to see this type of stuff happen. So if you don't know already, we'll go on over right now. The old school RuneScape folk have announced a post regarding third-party HD clients, and so, yeah, that's where it all begins. As you can see here, 103 likes, 37 quote tweets, which you already know is just people ratioing them, and then just endless responses. You can go on forever. I mean, the first response up here has almost 200 likes, almost double the initial post. So, yeah, people aren't too happy. Diving a bit deeper into the... What the? Did I just get scammed? What just happened? Alright, well, going over to the website instead. So they have a statement regarding their stance on third-party HD clients, and if you remember how they dealt with the original clients that came out, you could probably tell where this is going. So, in this blog, they're going to clarify their stance on the third-party HD clients. Yesterday, we contacted the developers of known HD projects, and we asked them to stop development of their projects because this is a project we are directly investigating at Jagex. We look forward to being able to share the progress as our own in-house project with old school visuals unfolds. Okay, so essentially, yeah, they told these people to just cut off all ties, and that alone isn't too bad. That's not why I would be upset, because I do get it. I mean, the same thing kind of happened with clients there for a second, where Jagex was just very skeptical, was starting to kind of ban them, pseudo-ban them. It was really hard to tell, and then Runelite kind of took over, and Runelite and Jagex seemed to work together pretty fine. And they are, I guess, in a good relationship at this point, because both parties are still working and functioning pretty well and moving towards a goal. And so it makes me wonder why they chose the approach of just shutting it down instead of working with them, since they've already shown that that's kind of their motto. But going a little bit deeper, in the first paragraph here, they try to coax us a little bit with their story about how they are working on their own features that can allow them to have HD-like clients as well. So this project that is being worked on is directly competing with theirs, which obviously they don't want, and I understand that to an extent. But at the same time, I mean, old school RuneScape has been out for a while at this point, and so, when I've heard about rumors of HD clients for, like, I don't know, 3-4 years now, like, people have been clamoring for it for a while, and there's still been no real upgrades. I mean, it makes sense that the community or someone or a few people collectively could come together and try to make that themselves because they want it, and because we're in a day and age in which you can do those sorts of things. Then essentially after the big paragraph right here, they're just talking about how they are working on their own, so hopefully you understand that that's why they're doing it, and I mean, I do understand that. And then at the bottom, they state that they're going to change the guidelines to now not allow anything that's going to upgrade or enhance the game's visual features. And so, yeah, I mean, personally, like I mentioned before in this video, I'm someone who doesn't even really care that much for HD. At least I didn't think so until I started seeing the pictures for it. And honestly, it was just kind of breathtaking. And so I felt like, to take that option away, it is pretty rough. So to get into this a little bit more, this is a Reddit post by the user RS117, the person who has been working on this client feature all by himself. Essentially, I think he was working on a plugin for Runelite, is what I can tell. Kind of crowdfunded as well, and a lot of people were showing him really good support on his social medias, and I would always see these flash across my screen as well, and they always looked amazing. So yesterday, September 6th, 2021, Runelite HD would have been released, the code had been reviewed, and the bugs have been fixed. It was ready to go. You would have been playing it right now, yet at the 11th hour, Jagex contacted me asking me to take down in light of the reveal that they have a similarly themed graphical improvement project that is relatively early in the exploration stages. He then says, I offered a compromise of removing my project from Runelite once they are ready to release theirs, in addition to allowing them collaborative control over the visual direction of my project. They declined outright. So sad, so sad. And then he says, so it appears that this is the end. Approximately 2,000 hours of work over 2 years, a huge outpouring of support from all of you. I could never have imagined the overwhelmingly positive responses that he's had to the project. He then goes on to say that he's disappointed with Jagex and frustrated as well, and he's very sorry that after this long journey, he is not able to continue anymore. And yeah, that's the real sad part. If it had been nipped at the bud, you know, I can understand that. That makes sense. But when Jagex is going to announce this essentially as soon as the project drops, like that's what, you know, rubs me the wrong way. I don't like that, especially if you're not going to work with them or reach out or, you know, try to contact and make amends in any way. It's really tough. I mean, you know, again, in a vacuum, I can understand why you wouldn't want this, but I mean, I'll start kind of flashing the pictures up on screen now of what he's made. I mean, these cities look immaculate. They look so good. And sure, they're still frames. I'm not sure how good it would have functioned. I mean, from what he was saying, essentially it was going to be released and would have been, you know, a-okay. Maybe there were some bugs here or there, but that would have been tweaked. And I mean, the possibility of having these things in game would have been great. Now, again, as I mentioned before, I am someone that doesn't even, you know, really like HD, but when you have something that looks this good and you have a section of the community that is clamoring for it, and, you know, I could see the argument that you want to keep the game inherently the same and you want to keep people, you know, feeling a bit more connected to everyone, because I do feel like once you start having HD versions of stuff and other clients and, you know, all this type of stuff, you really start to segment your game a lot and it's not as cohesive as it once was. However, with the way that the game's been going with Iron Man, Group Iron Man, Hardcore Iron Man, Ultimate Iron Man, tons of different game styles that just inherently kind of make you a different person than everyone else, then I don't see why you couldn't just go ahead and make your client a little bit different or your HD features a little bit different if you wanted to. Because at this point, there's so many customization options that I feel like it's not really that far out there. And a couple extra additions here. Mod Aiza said there was no malicious intent with the timing of this announcement, just getting the alignment internally on our approach and a public statement that is taken until now, which, I mean, I don't know. Very weird timing that, you know, it takes this long when something of that nature you'd feel to be pretty imminent. But beyond that, we also see down here from the creator of Runelite, Adam, that the plugin has been waiting for a few weeks now. Upon receiving the information, Jagex was very opposed to it, which he found rather confusing. If anything, adding HD options would bring in more players and allow them to get some good real-world information on what type of HD changes are most appealing to players, which seems like a win-win. And then he talks about how they changed their third-party guidelines, which actually makes a lot of sense. He's not really understanding as to why this fits under it, because the third-party guidelines were to define the line between quality of life and cheating. And so if that's the case, I mean, you know, this has nothing to deal with that. I mean, it's obviously quality of life. Like, you can't argue that this is cheating in any way. So why not allow it? I mean, this definitely, in my opinion, would fall under all the abundance of features that Runelite already offers. I don't think it's anything egregious. So it's just very strange. That's really the best way to put it. The whole situation seems very odd, and it seems very reminiscent. So my biggest gripe is that I'd want Jagex to show that they care about this type of stuff. You know, things that fundamentally improve the game for people rather than the quick flashy updates here or there meant for just the continual churning of content. That's what I would like to see. That's why I've always been such a big proponent of Jagex doing something about PKing, even if it seems hard, even if it seems difficult. You know, I feel that building out RuneScape should be the same way you build out an account. You focus on a lot of different things. Whenever you just go and get 99 combat and 99 slayer right off the rip, and then you're forced to skill and do all these things you don't want to, that's where it becomes problematic. And so, you know, I don't understand why Jagex doesn't take these things up prior. I don't know why there's no sort of just preemptive movement in these regards. Apart from that, I also think that clients already have OP features with the likes of Quest Helper and Clue Scroll Helper and all these puzzle solving things, and there's other cheat clients out there. There's a ton of issues in regards to clients. So to think that me changing the game a little bit, making it look better, is one that needs to be just met with a full head of steam, I don't really like that. And then we have a legend weighing in on the battle. He responded to the post, and I mean, already he's almost ratioed it in like 5 minutes. And he said, I tried this approach once. It did not work then either. And that's the way I see it. You can try to delay this stuff, but I don't think it's gonna work. Let me know how you feel down below. I'd love to hear the overall sentiment from the people on this sort of subject, because this is one of the, I guess, bigger pieces of news we've had in a while, and honestly, kind of heartbreaking in my opinion. And if you guys want to see more videos like this as soon as I go live, make sure to subscribe. But with that said, hopefully you guys have a wonderful day, and peace.